Hello everyone, my name is Tamara with Tamara's Crafty Corner. If you are new here, hello and welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back and thank you for your support. In today's video, I will be showing you how to create a custom Mr. Goodbar using Photoshop. The template that I'm going to give you, you can use it in any software of your choice that you're using. In today's video, I will just be using Photoshop. If anyone is using something other than Photoshop and would like for me to create this template in the software that you're using, please leave a comment down below to see if it's a software that I use, and I will be happy to make it for you. So let's get started. So the first thing you will need to do is to open up your software. If you're using Photoshop, you will open it up and it will bring you to this screen. And you will click create new and it will bring you to this new document window. On the preset detail side, you're going to put the measurement of the whole template, and that measurement is, for the width, it will be 6.5. Okay. 6.5, and in the height it will be 6.25. Your resolution will be at 300. Everything else will stay the same, and you're going to hit create. So here's your template for the wrapper. This is a whole entire wrapper. So what you want to do now is you want to go to rectangle, and you want to create the top, bottom, and middle layers. For the width, it will be 6.5. And for the height, it will be 2. And enter. Then you want to go back over here to your move tool so you can be able to move that. And we're going to change that color. And then you want to make sure that there's no stroke around it, because if there is a stroke when you print it, you'll have that black line right there, and you don't want that. So the next thing you want to do, what I do is I like to bring down my guidelines. So if I want to make this white, I know that my top layer ends here. So back over here to the rectangle tool, make any size rectangle, come back over here to under transform, and for the width it is 6.5, and for the height it is 2.25, and enter. So I'm going to click the top layer and I'm going to duplicate that layer, and we're going to rename it to bottom layer. Hit OK. And then we're just going to drag it down to the bottom. If you're like me and want to create sides, you will go back to the rectangle tool. Change the color. Over here to under transform. For the width is 0.4. And for the height it is 6.24. So you're going to click that, and we're going to duplicate. And just drag it to the side. And if you want to bring your borders, you can. And there you have your template for your Mr. Goodbar. So now let's get to the fun part, and that's designing. So first thing we're going to do an ice cream theme. So I am going to go to open first, because the background that I want to use I don't have saved in my Photoshop. So I'm going to save my pattern. So to do that, you will go to File, Open, and then you will pick the background that you want, and then you will go to Edit, and you will go down to Define Pattern. I always leave it the name that it is, and then hit OK. So that way, when I go to FX and I want a pattern overlay, I will click on the pattern, that way it'll just fit just to this. And while it's still open, you can scale it down. So I'm going to scale it down a little bit. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to do that again. File open. I'm going to go to another folder. So like this one better. For my cone. And again, you're going to go to edit, define pattern. Hit OK. And then you go back over to your template. Go to FX. Pattern overlay. And you select the one you want. And you can move it around to just so it can fit. Okay. And I'm going to do the bottom layer the same way. Pattern overlay. And with this one, I don't have to resize it or anything because it always go back to what you did the last time. Here for the size, I am going to just make it a solid color. It's purple. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in my logo and my images and start creating the middle layer. So this is all I'm going to do here. I don't want to make it too crowded. I'm just creating it for the tutorial purposes. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in the images for my top and bottom layer. The top layer, I normally put like the nutrition bar, the barcode and stuff, and then here is where I will put a message using my text. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do. I don't want to add too much, but this is how the wrapper is going to look. So now I'm going to print it out and I will see you at the assembly table. Now that we have our images printed and cut, it's time to assemble them. This is how it looks printed. You can see the gloss. The paper that I am using is it's by Better Office Products, It's 8.5 by 11 glossy white photo paper. This is what the packaging looked like. I got this off Amazon. I will have the link down in the description if you would like to order it. This is not the normal paper that I use, but I'm just trying out different types of paper to have a variety of options just in case the main one that I use runs out. But anywho, this is what our images look like. So now we're going to just create the crease. And this paper is only glossy on one side. It's not, both sides are not glossy. You don't want to put a hard crease just like I did. We're trying this paper out for the first time. So far, so good. Okay, so once we do that, I use double-sided tape to tape my edges when I first start assembling. So I'm going to use, this is the double-sided tape that I'm using. So I'm just going to tape the edges here. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to get my Mr. Goodbar, and I tape my flaps down with my double-sided tape so they won't move around. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this end and take it to the tip of this end. So you wanna create like a tent almost. So you take it tip to tip. Okay, and you want to create this. All right, hope you can see that. This is what you want to create, okay? Because we're trying to create this flap here. You want to get your scissors and you want to cut the excess off before you fold it down because it'd be much easier. You want to have a clean cut, all right? So you can flap it down either way. You can flap it down to have the word showing, or you can flap it down to have your nutrition bar, excuse me, showing on top. But I want the words to show. So after you do that, now you see you have the flap. So you press it down, and what you want to do is you want to get your hot glue and glue in here, glue the edges of here. And you don't necessarily have to use hot glue. You can keep using a double-sided tape. Anything that you use for your treats, you are more than welcome to use. This is just what I use. And then you pinch it down. Be careful not to burn yourself. And just press it down. And then now you want to get your pinking shears and just take a little bit off. And there you have it. You have your Mr. Goodbar. All right. And as you can see here, this is on here correctly, but we didn't flip this horizontally, so now like it's upside down. So you want to make sure that when you're putting in your text in the software that you're using, that you flip it so that when you hold your Mr. Goodbar up, this is still at the right angle, so it will be turned this way, if that makes sense. But we're gonna do this one. Again, I'm gonna double side tape my edges. Hope I have this in the camera. All right, get your Mr. Goodbar, place it in the middle, and now you're gonna go tip to tip to make that tint. Alright. Again, if you need to, cut off the excess. Just want a nice clean look. Alright. Then you get your hot glue and glue. And flap this down, and then you want to pinch it close. And do the same for the other side. Okay. And get your scissors and just take a little off the edge. And there you have it. Pull that out of the way. You have Mr. Goodbar. Alright. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. I'm trying to get back in the groove of posting videos. I know it be gaps in between, but bear with me. I'm on the road to 1K, so if you can help me by sharing this video, liking it, leaving comments, it'll be greatly appreciated. But until next time, see you in the next video. Bye.